Yes.
Okay, so this has been deployed. Our load balancer is here. Let's go ahead and check. Uh, Configuration of load balancer, I could have done it while creating it. You can do it once it is created. Both ways are possible, except for one exception, that is front end IP. Front end IP has to be there while creating. You let's say that sorry, you have been tasked to create a load balancer, right? And client says or your manager says that backend and health probe etc has not yet been decided. You go ahead and create it. Along with that, you'll have to make sure that you do have front end IP. If front end IP is not yet decided, you can't create load balancer. So here our load balancer has been created. This is the front end IP we have. Uh, could you guys please go ahead and check if you are able to access anything on this IP 172, 172, 136, 139. I've shared it in the chat. Anything you guys are able to access?
No.
Nothing. Why? Look at this. No backend pool, no load balancing rule, nothing. I haven't configured anything. So let's go ahead and start configuring them. You can do that from here or you can do it from here. Front end IP, I have already done it. Still, if I want to check, I want to add multiple IPs, I can do that. We'll stick to one. Backend pool. Under backend pool, I click add. Now, not necessary that in one load balancer, I can have only one set of machine and one application. One load balancer can have multiple public IP. It can have multiple backend pools. So I'm naming this as UT-Kloud backend pool. I don't have any other pool to show you, but at least I'm explaining it to you. Okay? Now, this is a part of this virtual network. The backend pool which I'm creating, it is a part of this virtual network. If I make it a part of this virtual network, and if I click on add, look at this. I do not have any machine under this virtual network. While creating the load balancer, I just have to make sure that it is there in the same region. So all the VNets in the same region will appear here. But while creating a backend pool, I have to make sure that I'm selecting the correct virtual network also. If my resources are under this virtual network, and if I select this virtual network, I won't be able to see anything. So I make this backend pool, I select the correct virtual network, and here I can add either NIC or particular IP addresses. What do you think is more suitable option? Adding a NIC or IP address? What do you think it's unlikely to change? Let's say virtual machines are in picture. You want to add a virtual machine. Virtual machine पे what do you think? IP बार बार change होता है या NIC change होता है? Frequently क्या चीज change होती है?
IP. IP. IP.
Right. So
IP.
let's not
So
go
we
ahead
should
with
go
IP.
with Nick.
Yeah, then we'll go ahead with NIC. Both will work, but it's a strategic decision. It's a technical decision. I'll go ahead with NIC. Click on add, and I should see all the NICs which are available under this one. So can you see VM1, VM2, VM3? I have added. Click on add. Now, understand one thing, guys. I had public IP on those server only because I wanted to host a website on that and I wanted to check you before the practical. Otherwise, you do not require any public IP on that, right? You only require private IP because load balancer, the whole work of the load balancer यही है इसका काम कि it will take the traffic from here and it will throw it on the private IP. So do you actually require a public IP on these servers?
No.
No.
No. In the practical we had because I wanted to log into those servers, make this web page, host the website. Right? इसके लिए आप Windows भी कर लो. You'll have to take RDP. You'll have to do that. Now, actually, it will work on the private servers. So I have added these three. I'm clicking on save. So I have added a backend pool. I haven't added a backend yet. It is a pool I have created, a backend pool. Maybe I have 10 servers and I'm creating multiple pools with those servers. But as of now, we just have 3 servers. I'm putting all of them in one pool. This is my UT-Kloud backend pool. If I try to add one more pool, let's say Tsoft backend pool, Nick, and I select OK here, and I add these machines. Look at this. So if your first, if your interview question is that uh, can you have same machine as a part of multiple backend pool? Is it possible or not?
Yes, it's possible.
Okay. But here we don't require multiple backend pools. Now, why would we have multiple backend pools? We may have multiple front end. We have multiple backend pool also. But in this case, our servers are similar, so it doesn't make any sense here. ये सब चीज का कोई sense बन नहीं रहा है. I hope you guys are getting it, right? Ultimately, my servers are same. But imagine I had different servers over there and I had different servers over here. Then it makes sense. And why is it making sense? Because I'm using only one load balancer. Understand, I'm paying for load balancer also. So while using one load balancer, I can have multiple applications. Are you guys getting it? Yes, guys. Yes, no, maybe. Are you guys getting the concept that why can I have multiple front end IP backend pools? Why am I having this? Why do I have this option? So you can have one load balancer and you can have multiple applications. Now maybe this is Tsoft application. This is UT-Kloud. Your users will get this IP. Your users will get this IP. And under backend, I have both of them. In my case, I have just attached same servers. But I hope you are getting it. Now, health probe. This is important. Add health probe. Name a health probe. I'm naming it as HTTP. This is going on a protocol TCP or let's say HTTP protocol. Port number 80, path is this, interval is this one. Now, what does it mean? Now, on your server, if you're hosting a website, which service is it using, guys?
HTTP.
HTTP.
HTTP. Now,
For
this load
HTTP.
balancer, instead of website, if I wanted to use the load balancer for RDP, that I'm going to give the public IP of that server, and in the backend there should be 10 machine and you should get random RDP. No one uses that, just for your understanding. That time, should I use HTTP protocol here?
RDP.
No, you should
3389.
use
TCP
RDP.
3389. But no one actually no one will use it. By the way, this is just name, no matter what I give. I can give it name HTTP and use RDP. This is just name. I can give ABCD, whatever. This is where I actually decide that what is happening. So I am hosting this for HTTP. And the moment I do it for HTTP, it is selecting port 80. Why? Because on my server, website is hosted on port 80, right? This slash, it means that everything under port 80. And interval is 5 seconds. Now, what does it actually mean? It means that my front end IP or my front end of the load balancer will keep checking in every 5 seconds with my backend servers. If I go back here, so this health probe is making sure that the load balancer, it is an intelligent device. It will keep sending a heartbeat to all these servers in every 5 seconds. On which port? Port 80. This is very important, guys. It is sending on port 80. It is not checking all server health. In this server, if port 3389 is off, I hope you understand in Windows and Linux, you can turn off one port and turn on one port, right? You can do that. See, server is shut down completely. Is any port working?
No.
It is
No.
down, it is down. Fine, it's completely down. Server is up. Port number 3389 is working, port number 221 is working, and port number 80 is not working for some reason. Is this server up for load balancer?
No. No.
So are you getting the difference? When we say that it will check the health of server, it's not checking whether server is up or down. Server is up and running. You are able to take RDP, but port 80 is not working. Will load balancer send the traffic here?
No, it will send to healthy VF.
Yes.
No.
I hope you're getting it, right? I'll show it to you. I'll take putty. When I take putty connection of this server, which means port 22 is working on this server, and I'll deliberately keep the server on, but deliberately turn off the port number 80. And then you guys will see the traffic is routing only on those two servers. So this is your health probe. It will keep checking one particular port, whichever you have given, right? It won't select automatically. You are giving it. Why am I selecting HTTP and 80? Because I'm hosting a website, right? If I was hosting one, let's say, secure website, then I'll go ahead and select 443. But I'm not hosting any secure website. I'm hosting just a normal website. If I'm hosting a SharePoint over there, then I will go ahead and select TCP and I'll maybe FTP, whichever port number I want, right? So it's up to you. Interval, it will start sending the this one in every 5 seconds, and if there is no reply, it's not written here, but consecutively it will try for 3 times, and if 3 times it is getting failure, it will go for the next server. It will consider that server as a dead server. It will keep checking the health, but it won't send the traffic to that. Is this point clear, guys, to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so I have just
Yes.
created a rule here. I have not said that this rule is for which backend, for which front end. वो अब तक नहीं हुआ है. I've just set up a rule. Can I have multiple rules? Of course I can. Let's go ahead and check another rule. RDP, though I'm not going to have RDP, or maybe SSH, port number 22. So no, this rule will check port number 22 all the time, every 5 seconds. Fine. Load balancing rules. We have set up health probe, we have set up backend, we have set up front end. Now, if you guys go ahead and check that public IP, will you be able to see my server 123?
No.
Why not?
We are still left with that last option.
Yes, because I've set up the backend, I've set up the front end, but where did I connect all of them? There are two front end IPs, right? There are two backend. There are two health probes. Which one will be applied to which one? Have I mentioned that anywhere?
No.
So that happens under load balancing rules. Now I'm creating the rules and now it should be usable for you. Click on add. This rule is I'm creating for my website. So I'll name it as website rule. I'm focusing on IPv4, front-end IP. This one I'm creating for UT-Kloud. So this is my front-end IP. This is the place where I'm fixing all those things. I've just got the components. I haven't integrated them. Backend pool. Behind the UT-Kloud public IP, which backend pool do I want? Tsoft or UT-Kloud? In our case, servers are same. So will it make any sense? Even if I select this or this, it's okay. But imagine that this one had Tsoft website and you select this. Is it a good configuration or a correct configuration? Not at all, right? So
No.
you will have to make sure you're selecting the correct backend pool. Now, is it on TCP? Yes, it is on TCP. Port number 80. Now, backend port. What is the difference in this, guys? Can anyone tell me? Why am I saying two ports?
Backend port and port.
Hmm.
Hello,
Yes,
am I
tell me.
audible?
Yes, I can hear you. Tell me.
Yeah. Port number is actual. What is the HTTP port number 80, and on which port you are want to listen? Like backend port would be like 8080. We can do that.
Okay. Now, let me ask you one question. Backend port, by default, my website will be hosted on 80. For now, it is hosted on 80. So there is no option I will change that, right?
Yes.
Front end port, on which port I'm accessing this website, guys? This one, I'm which
80
port?
HTTP.
HTTP
Hey,
80
How do you know it is
80.
80? I mean, where have
Yeah.
am I mentioned that?
If you click on the not secure where, then it is just saying like not secure.
Anything which is not 443, it's not secure. Why is it not 8080? It could be 8080. Why is it, why do you think it is not 8080?
Yeah, if we select the backend port 8080, then where when we access the website, so that time we have to mention IP address and the port number 8080. Then after that we can use that
Yes. In a way, your
website.
answer is correct. Let me explain now. So how do you know that I'm not using 8080 is, guys, because the moment you type something in the browser, default port is 80. So if I wanted to access this website on 8080, this is how I will have to access this. This is now I'm accessing this website on port number 8080. But will it work? Obviously, it won't work because in the backend it is hosted on 80. But if you don't see any number, which means by default that you are hosting it, you are accessing this website on 80. This is browser's default function, any browser. The moment you type anything, you are accessing that over port number 80. If you want a specific one, then you have to go and type like this. Now I'm accessing that website on port number 5000. But is it up to me that where I want to how I want to access the website, or is it on the website on which port they have hosting it? Can I go ahead and use google.com on 5000 port?
No.
See, no, right?
No.
So this is what we're talking about here, that my users which are coming, do I want them to come using port by default port 80, or do I want to them to come using some specific port number? Why do I have this feature? Because 80 is very common, everyone knows. Now here, instead of 80, if I keep 50,000, no one in the world will guess this number, right? Or maybe I can have just a random number. No one will be able to guess this number. No one will be able to guess. And hackers who are trying to access my website, they will try it on maybe some known ports, 80, 8080 or 443, right? So if I want this feature, I can use this. What does it mean? That the incoming traffic should come from this port, then only this rule will apply. So this should look something like this: 172, 172, 136, 139, and 420. If I type like this, then only this whole thing will work. If I have selected a port here, a random port or a custom port. Is this clear what this port number means, guys?
Yes.
This, how do you want your customer to come to you? Normally, we'll keep it to 80. Later, if time allows, I'll show you with another port. Backend, this is the actual port, that on which port have you hosted your website. So by default, it will go to 80. यहाँ पर ज़्यादा change नहीं करते हम लोग. Unless you have gone to server and you have hosted your website on some different port, that you'll have to put here. But on server also, by default, it will be on 80. So both of them, I'm keeping 80. Health probe. Which health probe do I have to select with this one?
HTTP.
HTTP, right? Because I want this front-end IP to keep on checking to my backend pool that it is up on port 80 or not. Session persistent. This is what I told you that when I was explaining this one, hash based, right? Hash based and source IP affinity. What does it mean? That if I keep session persistent, if you are connected, you are using your laptop from one particular IP, if you're connected using my load balancer, you connected to one of the servers in the backend pool. Let's say UT-Kloud server 1. If I use this session persistent to successive request from the same client, maybe handled by virtual machine, will be handled by the same virtual machine. Say if I select this, then you will by default connect to the same machine all the time. If you're coming from one particular IP, right, you will all the time you will connect to the same IP, to same server. How will it help? Your response request will be quicker. But will you connect to the same IP if it is down? No, it won't happen. You will connect to the same IP only if these are up. What does it mean? If you're getting confused, let me explain it again. Let's say this is a load balancer. You are a user. You are coming from one particular IP. Let's say my public IP, my laptop's IP. I have a static public IP. So I'm coming here. I'm going here. If I enable that rule, it will all the time it will take me to here. All the time it will take me to here. By default, it will take me here. But till the time it is up and running, if my health probe shows this is not working, then it will take my request somewhere else. And if I do not have that rule in place, then it will take randomly, it will take to any server. So normally we'll keep this none.
I have one question.
Yes.
Means on what basis he means the client or load balancer store the IP address of the backend? Because means if the first time user access the VM1 and after that VM1 goes down and then user access the VM2.
Hmm.
So also load balancer will keep the IP address of the VM2.
Last session, whichever the successful last session was. Let's say today is connected to VM1, tomorrow is coming, it will send to VM1. Day after tomorrow, VM1. Then hence on VM1. Then after 15 days, VM1 was down, client connected to VM2, right? So now after that, next day VM2, third day VM2, fourth day VM2. Understand one thing, guys. For client, it doesn't matter. Are we in actual environment? Will we have any difference in VM1 or VM2?
No.
No. So client के लिए कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा VM1 या VM2. This is just for some milliseconds का difference. Every time if it is going to client server 1, server 2, server 3, different millisecond का different होगा. But if it is going to same server again and again, some cache records will be saved and it will be little bit faster. उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं होगा. Even if it is going to server 2, server 3, doesn't make any difference for client. Why? Because we are having exact same application, exact same database, exact same servers and service on all the server. Then only this is useful for us. But for slightest difference, we have this feature available. Okay. Any doubts? Any other questions, guys?
No.
Okay. Natting, we are still not looking at that. So we'll keep this recommended one default and click on save. Let us see when this is up and running. Meanwhile, I'll just go ahead and log into these machines. So I can show you that without shutting down the machine, if I just turn off the port, how your traffic will redirect. So if I go ahead and check this machine, you guys can practice it on Windows. Just install IIS role and you will get one website. If you guys really want, tomorrow I'll show you how to host a website on Windows. Or if you want, I can give you some Linux servers readily available and with the hosted website, everything. Sorry, I clicked on the icon and it's not going now. I'll log into remaining servers. Meanwhile, can you guys go ahead and start checking that IP address which I just shared with you, load balancers public IP, and see if you guys are able to access, and just put in the chat window that which server are you guys connected to. I want to see.
Server 2.
It should be ideally different server for everyone. So
UT-Kloud
I
server
heard
2.
one server 2.
Oh, server 2.
UT-Kloud.
UT-Kloud, yes, but server which one?
Web server 2.
Server 2. Can someone else try?
Yes.
Anyone else, guys? With server 1 or 3?
Me,
Ideally, it
server
should go
3.
to all servers.
Connected to server 2.
Again, server 2? Yeah, all of you, please try,
Yes.
guys. Try immediately, so it will have the load on server 2, and let's see if it redirects on server 3 or server 1. So these are the servers, guys, we have. This is 1. This is 1. This is 2. This is 3. On these one, I have hosted website. Server 1 is pe hai, UT-Kloud. Server 2 is pe hai. Server 3 is on this server. Anyone who is able to connect to server, other different server, guys? Okay. Gauss connected to server 3. Others, can you try? You have so many people and less replies.
Yeah, server 1.
Server 1. So you see, do you guys see now how it works? How is it happening? I'll show it to you on my screen also. See, I'm going to server 3. So this is how the load balancer works, guys. Okay, Nagma got connected to server 1. Server 3. If I refresh page, let's see. If I go to some other server. But normally, whatever traffic which we are giving to that server, it's very nominal. 1 or 2 requests won't even make any change to that, right? So this is how it is working now. Who's connected to server 3? Gauss is connected, right? Okay.
Yes.
Anyone else on server 3, guys? Server 2. Okay. By the way, look at this, guys.
Yes, I'm server 3.
Yes, this is working here also, but in actual world, in actual environment, you will never have public IP here, right? So you won't have this liberty to do. I am having public IP just because I want to take RDP, I want to take SSH and show you something. Hence, we have public IP over there. So yeah, for few of you are server 1, server 2, server 3. Because mine is server 3, so I'm taking just as a random, I'm picking server 3. Right? So on server 3, now I want to turn off the website, right? So on Windows Server, you can go and you can right click and you can stop the service, and that will simply just stop the service. Here in Linux, there are again 2 methods. I can stop the service, or I can turn off the port. In fact, in Windows also, you can turn off the port or you can stop the service, right? So let me check if I'm still connecting to this one. Okay. This is server 3, just to be sure before I okay. So let me I have Apache server. In Linux, you have options. You can have Tomcat server, you can have Apache server, you can have multiple servers actually. In Windows, you can have IIS server. So I'm stopping the Apache service. This is server 3. First, let me go and just let's cross verify if it has worked. Server 3's IP was this one. So let me refresh. It takes time, by the way, guys, right? Because see, yeah. So actually server 3 is shut down now. Again, we won't have this liberty. We are in training, so I'm doing it. Now, if I go ahead and Just refresh this. Load balance. This is load balancer IP. This is not server 3's IP. Can you guys see how seamlessly I was just redirected to server 1?
Yes.
Now, purposely we have kept it so we can validate our practical. Otherwise, same application working from there. I won't even come to know. So this is how your load balancer works, guys. People who are on server 3, please refresh and see and let me know if you are connecting to server 1 or 2.
I'm on server 2.
Right. So now if I do the same thing on server 2, I'm stopping the Apache service, guys. So server 2 is also gone. Now people who are on server 2, try refreshing your page. In fact, all of you now, there's only one server left, server 1.
Server 1, yes.
Redirect to server 1.
Server 1.
Okay.
Yes,
So this
server
is
1.
our load balancer practical, guys. Do you have any question, any doubt, anything? Do let me know. We have 6 minutes left remaining in this session. I can still answer your questions. Tomorrow we'll go ahead and check application gateway. Right, I won't have to repeat all the concepts. We'll try to initiate directly with the practical. I'm not putting any practical or tasks or questions for you today. Just go ahead and watch the recording. Try to understand. Right. Let's see if we go to portal. And if I go to my load balancer, this is the load balancer. In application gateway, you do see the health probe also, whether it is working fine or not. I just want to see if there is any feature here. Health probe, if I go here. And this natting rules, guys, when will it be useful, for the troubleshooting? Now I know that my traffic is going only on particular server, and so other servers are down, and I want to do the troubleshooting. So that time I can use natting. Natting will guide me, or it will help me to, using load balancer, go to one particular server. For example, that traffic is coming from uh, this IP, and using load balancer, it should go to this particular target. See, here I can select. It should always go to VM1. But this is only for troubleshooting purpose. So hence I'm not covering that. Uh, Resource health, if this can talk about my VMs, let's see. By the way, it's not only port down. Sometimes your server is also down. Load balancer will react in the same manner.
सोहेल भाई मैक्सिमम कितने फ्रंट एंड आईपी ये कर सकते हैं हम कॉन्फ़िगर
I don't have that answer
लोड
handy.
बैलेंस
I'll have to check. Maximum. Maybe you guys can check
जैसे कि
and put it
हमने
in the resource group, or I will check and put it in the resource group. That will depend on this one base, obviously. कि आप यहाँ पर SKU कौन सा ले रहे हो? For example, where is that? While creating the load balancer, did we have any SKU? But we can check that on. Again, guys, for questions like this, I will never answer you in front, even if I knew. First thing, I won't brag about it. मुझको number याद भी नहीं है. That what was the last number? I don't even remember. याद भी होता, I will not quote that number. Always a good idea to go at the Microsoft website and check, because ये सारी चीजें बहुत frequently change होती है. Maybe today they are supporting 10 IPs, tomorrow they will say we are supporting 15 IPs, right? So we can maybe check here or somewhere, or I'll share it or you guys share it. If you get it first, you guys share it, or I will share it with you. But just to let you know, in actual environment, you will never see something like this. They don't mind paying for extra load balancer. They will have extra a dedicated load balancer for dedicated application. No one wants to share things with each other, because it is very difficult and risky, and no one wants to do that. That answer will get somewhere here. I'll share it in the chat later, or if you guys get it, share it. Yes, guys. Any other question? Any other doubt?
नो
Okay. If you guys don't have any questions, any doubt, I'll stop the session. I'll upload the recording in some time. See you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to do application gateway. Okay. See you guys. Bye.